We are back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. Here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, continuing to fight to hold support here above the 455 level. And in today's volatility, our SPY buy at 11:15 a.m. sent out a bull indicator. And from that moment forward, inflows crossed the midpoint to the upside, full strength on 42 vision, and call options went up 170% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots, and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, fighting to hold support. We're going to break down the key levels I would watch going into next week. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunity that was mentioned this morning over at the Discord. So the home run today was spectacular and beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on and receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots, and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the home run today was from our Netflix spot. Our Netflix spot sent out a bear indicator at 10:45 a.m. And from that moment forward, outflows crossed the midpoint to the downside, pure weakness there on 42 vision, and put options went up 200% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump to these charts. Here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, doing a full transition from the dip area yesterday into the rip area in today's pre-market and yesterday's after hours. And today it continues to hit the bright green bars after coming back down to red bars. If this is your first time coming across the channel, this is 42 vision, which allows us to see the dips from the rips to the dips, and where the strength and weakness lies within the charts. And we also use our bull and bear indicators and inflow versus outflow as an extra layer of confirmation, which I'm going to pull up here and you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, under a bull indicator after canceling out the bear indicator from the pre-market, right? It popped up around the 456 level, and around 456.33, a bull indicator popped up, and it's been dominating over the chart, and support was found here at around the 455.50 level. A crucial level to not ignore was 454 as support, which was used as support yesterday. Bull indicator popped up into the close. 455 was going to be crucial, and breaking through the resistance of 457 was definitely an area to not ignore, and it hit highs here today of 459.62. And the next resistance we were watching is the 460 level, and we're not that far off of it here. And today it is fighting here in the second half after slight pullback, trying to come back up towards it. And we're going to break down the key levels I would watch going into next week. Now, here we are with the SPY on the 30-minute, as we see with a bull indicator. But when we zoom out and look at this from the 1 hour, we could see a bull indicator popped up yesterday at the 454.90 area. It needed to close and confirm, and it did into the after hours, and it continued with strength here and found support not that far off of it, where it popped up and continued this staircase effect here within the last 2 days. In the bigger picture here, hitting bright green bars as we see it in the live action. Definitely something to not ignore here within the charts. A bull indicator is dominating in the bigger picture. Now, when we zoom into the volatility of the 15-minute, it was under a bull indicator going into the close as well. Bear indicator popped up in today's pre-market at 456.59, and a bull indicator popped up to cancel it into the open at 455.80, and it's been dominating all day. Now we need to look at the inflow versus outflows, if they further justify this strength and what's going on here within the charts going into Monday. So here we have inflows crossing over yesterday into the after hours, and in today's pre-market the outflows tried to reappear, but you could see why the chart didn't completely collapse, right? Those outflows never crossed to the downside. It brought itself back up, switched from red to green, staying above the midpoint, and inflows picked up to highs here of 4.09, some of the highest that we've seen in the last several days and weeks. The highest most recent was back on November 20th at 3.49 when the market moved from 450 up to 455. And here we are with it, with some of the highest inflows popping up and having strength here within today's volatility, right? Hitting highs up here of 459.63, not that far off of the resistance we were watching very carefully here of 460. Now, if we zoom out and look at this from the 1 hour, same thing, right? Those inflows crossed over yesterday into the open. There was slight volatility, but those inflows remained green and above the midpoint and pulled away from it to the upside, hitting highs up here of 3.67. And if we zoom in within the volatility into the 15-minute, we could see here a slight crossover on that slowdown, but consolidation as inflows came back up in the first half. And here we are with it under a possible staircase effect, and we need to see these inflows pick back up and stay above the midpoint to not go ahead and bring itself down lower, right? Because these outflows have began in the second half here on the 15 minutes so far, but it has not collapsed because these outflows have not crossed over just yet. Definitely something I'm going to be watching very carefully here into the after hours today and going into Monday. So definitely something to not ignore. Now, what are the key levels I would watch? Well, the first thing is support, guys. And the first support level is the 458 level. And if these outflows begin here on the 30-minute and start to reflect weakness onto the 15-minute, crossing over the midpoint to the downside, the next support I'll be watching is the 456.50 area. And then below that is 455. These are the key levels I'll be watching to the downside. The outflows are pretty close here on the 15-minute. I would not ignore that. And on the 30-minute, it has slowed down and it is sitting sideways. If that begins from green to red heading towards the midpoint, I'll be watching that very carefully as it tests key support levels. Now to the upside, it's going to be crucial and critical for the 15-minute to switch from red to green, push up away from the midpoint with strength, continue reflecting that strength into these charts, and roll that strength over into the 30-minute and the 1 hour, holding it green and pushing upwards away from the midpoint and continuing this staircase effect. And the first resistance level is the 460 level. Then above that is 462. And then I'll be watching the 465 area. These are the key levels I'll be watching to the upside and to the downside. The bull and bear indicators are going to be crucial, and the inflow versus outflows, I would not ignore them as outflows have began on the 15-minute, but inflows are still dominating slightly above the midpoint, even though it's red. But the outflows are trying to head towards the midpoint, and I'm going to be watching that very carefully if the bulls can reappear, get these inflows back up, or will the bears get these outflows to cross over and start reflecting weakness into these charts. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.